This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN.Network, and we're a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek, which is being held virtually this year. And joining me right now is Bryan Skanderbeg. He is the President and CEO of GFG Resources. It's a publicly traded company. I got two symbols for you: GFG on the TSX Venture and GFGSF on the OTCQB. Bryan, thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
Excellent up in here in Saskatoon, and happy to be part of yourselves and introducing GFG to your audience today. So yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity.
No, thank you again. So let's get right into it. Let's start with a very quick overview and history of the company, and then we'll go from there.
GFG's been around for about 3.5 years. We are a district scale explorer focused in Wyoming and up in the Abitibi-Timmins. So founded on the U.S. Wyoming-based asset, Rattlesnake Hills, subsequently added in the Timmins portfolio through a series of transactions, and we're aggressively advancing these projects in what we know is a pretty robust gold market. The people behind GFG, myself as President and CEO, and a number of our executive involved in Claude Resources historically, so very sound track record of both operating mines and transacting, but also discovering mines. So we're a 35 million market cap, district scale explorer, and really excited with the projects we have going forward right now.
What would you say makes GFG and your projects that you're working on unique and different compared to your peers out there?
Yeah, look, our focus is really discipline and capital in the ground. And you can look at what it costs us to run this company. We're $1 million a year. Everything else goes in the ground. And I like the fact we have a couple legs to this stool. It's really critical from a news flow perspective. We targeted these belts looking for world-class systems. And I think what you see in this company and distinguishes ourselves is we have very, very large land positions. And we have it in productive belts and systems that we know can really yield tier one style deposits. So I think GFG is set apart from our peers in the sense that, we still have a very reasonable market cap being about $30 million. We're very well financed with about $7.5 million in the bank. You've got a team with very strong track record of finding quality ore bodies here and knows the belts we work in. I think it's a really simple story. Timmins, where do you want to go to find big gold deposits? Go look in the Abitibi, and we're the biggest landholder there outside of Newmont these days. So, I think we've been methodical. I think we've bided our time and picked away at building these land positions. And now we're at the stage where we really can be aggressive going forward. And lo and behold, we're going to start a rig in the next 2 weeks. So timing's great for us. And I think that's really what investors want, is they want dollars and meters going in the ground at a time of the gold sector where we think it's just, the timing's perfect.
So I wanted to follow up on two things that you just said there. The first bit, and you kind of answered this already in a sense, but I wanted to know if there's any elephants, by elephants, I mean major mining companies near or adjacent to some of your properties. And then you also talked about the team that you have in place at GFG. So I'd love to know your background as well and how you came into it.
Yeah, well, let's start with, you talk about elephants. There's different ways to describe this. As a geologist and explorer, I talk endowment. And what does that mean? Just gold in the ground. Simply says gold in the ground. And we're in Timmins in the Abitibi there because we really feel the opportunity to yield a 5, 10, 20 million ounce system is there. And we border, 5 kilometers from the Cote land position in that Ontario land position. So if you think of the elephants around us, we have 75 million ounces in the Timmins camp. We've got Cote Lake that hosts, 15 million ounces. I'm being a little generous, being a geologist, reserves plus resources plus a little extra. And Borden sitting off west of us, no slouch either, 5 million ounces if you want to pit it, if you want underground, it's a couple million. So those are our neighbors. And with those neighboring endowments is coming infrastructure. So you already have Newmont's mill, you already have Pan American's mill, and now you're going to layer on top of that Cote, 36,000 ton a day mill, all within trucking distance to our land position. So we've got elephants around us. We've got the massive land holding. We've already announced discovery. We've got infrastructure surrounding us. So that's why we're where we are. In terms of the people behind us, look, my background is an explorationist and an operator, and I joined Claude Resources as our expo manager, VPX, COO, and CEO. So I played a lot of different roles, but what we did was we successfully found Santoy Gap, and to me, that's the biggest gold deposit in Saskatchewan. It's the strongest free cash flowing asset of Silver Standard, and our team is responsible for finding that. We've got a good team on the ground in Timmins. We've got a good team in the ground in the U.S. Operated by and led by Tim Brown, who managed Cripple Creek for the better part of 25 years on the geological side. So I think we have an excellent team. Our board of directors also reflects that. So we have seasoned gold veterans on our board. Patrick Downey, who runs Orezone. Brian Booth founded Lakeshore. Steve DeYoung founded Integra. And Arnold Klassen is currently the audit chair at Kirkland Lake Gold. That's our 4 board members outside myself. So, I think with GFG, we would punch well above our weight in terms of technical capacity, track record, and caliber of people.
And then from what you can tell us, what would you say are some of the company's value catalysts now for the rest of this year going into 2021?
Yeah, very, very key thing here. Look, we've announced a key discovery at the Nib prospect in Timmins in April of this year, and that really repositioned this company. We've taken the summer, we've executed a bunch of field programs. This includes the till, the prospecting, the mapping, the geophysical components, and now we're going to start back drilling again here. So we brought Alamos in as a strategic partner. They own 9.9% of us and are our biggest shareholder. We financed ourselves. This was all done back in April. And now we've done our field programs, and we're setting up to go out and drill 9,000 meters by the time year end rolls around. And that's going to kick off here in the next few weeks. So really excited to go back and follow up on what is a relevant discovery. 71 grams, 72 grams over 8.5 meters. That's what we announced in our last press release from Timmins. And we're going to go back and drill near that. And we're going to go back and drill test a number of other regional targets that we think are just as high quality as the Nib occurrence and target area. And you're going to see continuous news flow from this company through to year end, money in the bank. And even if we look back to 2021, we're well financed to fund ourselves through a good portion of 2021 from both a G&A and in the ground perspective. The other catalyst we have at Rattlesnake Hill. So we also own 100% of this asset. We're currently taking a strategic review of that asset, and I'm optimistic that we'll have some guidance back to the market here in the coming quarter, Q3, on what the appropriate path forward for that asset is. Our dollars are going to go into Timmins, but we're reviewing a number of strategic options for that Rattlesnake Hill. So catalyst, keep an eye on the drills. We're going to start that in a couple of weeks, and then expect drill results to start moving in later into September.
Well, with that, where can my audience go and find everything they need to know to stay up to date on GFG Resources?
Biggest available information site is our website, www.gfgresources.com. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. Feel free to reach out to myself or Mark LePage, who's our business development and IR VP. Both of us very reachable. Call us on the phone, get a hold of us anytime. We're very easy to talk to. So those are the best sources of information for GFG.
Very good. Well, Bryan, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Stay safe, good luck, and I look forward to our next update.
Thanks very much, Robert, and all the best to your audience.
Thank you. Again, my name is Robert Kraft. I'm your host on SNN.Network. We're a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek, being held virtually this year. Bryan and GFG will be there, and thank you all for listening today.
Thank you.